Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, December 4th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That's because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol CLSK. Very, very nice mover today and a good solid pattern headed into Monday. And when you have solid patterns like this, so let me actually get it drawn into play first and realize that as I draw this, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that this is a great discovery on my part or a special skill. A lot of people are doing this. And I say that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So to make this pattern a little bit easier, let's make it just one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the huge move right here. For you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down there. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it plausible, is it valid that if the price can come up here and push up through the top part of that pattern, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a reasonable thought on your end. So if you like stocks down below $10, you like bull pennant patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol ALT, and this was a very, very brutal move. I mean, to think that there were some people buying up there, hopefully they were using stop losses because this is what we would call a gap and trap. And yes, it is an ugly looking chart, but there can be opportunity in the ugly, and that's where I want to focus on here as we come down to this former breakout area and basically gap close location. And then you also, in fact, let me squeeze this down a little bit more. There we go. And then let me change this to green for support because that's what, when resistances are broken, they tend to act as support. But the cherry on top is, if you look close enough, you can see that there's this purple line, which is also moved, and it's essentially right at that same level. That purple line on my chart representing the very well-known, the very famous 50-period moving average. And while nothing is guaranteed, as I've said and will probably say another dozen times, is it plausible that if the price gets a little bit more ugly, comes back down that much more, closes the gap, and is down around that purple line, that it could get a bounce from that area? That is certainly a very plausible outcome. Now, you better be disciplined because if it continues to drop and drop and drop, you don't want to turn into a bag holder. But if you are somebody that can be disciplined, then you could really structure yourself a nice risk versus reward scenario where if it doesn't work out, you take a small loss. But if you get some sort of bounce back upwards, then relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at a very, very nice scenario here. So if you like to play these sorts of opportunity in the uglies, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, BETS, and a penny stock. Same general idea of what we just talked about with CLSK in terms of, grabbed the wrong line, in terms of just being a well-established pattern and a pattern that you got to think a lot of people are watching, especially within the world of penny stocks. So once again, is it plausible to think that you could get some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy type movement with this one? Absolutely. So I'm going to go through this quicker because you've already heard me say it, and I want to respect your time as much as possible. So there's the resistance support, nice upwards move here, golf hole down here, and the biggest difference here with this is just the penny stock. So if a price can come up there and break up through there, does it get that much more momentum? Even if it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy, we'll see what happens. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, but if you did, hopefully you remember me talking about that pink line down there, the 200-period moving average, which very, very important. And to give credit where credit's due, the price did ultimately test it here, but fantastic job right there as holding up support. So anybody that watched yesterday's video, and whether you picked up some calls or just picked up some stock down there for a bounce, congratulations. You got a very nice move today right off that moving average. So, and then just from a general standpoint, that's just an important level because, again, that is the 200-period moving average. That's more so an overarching level. And when, from a bigger picture standpoint, when prices stay up above their 200-period moving average, that's a good sign from the bullish standpoint. In terms of levels of resistance, nothing new here to report from yesterday's video. Still all about that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average, which you can see right here, has acted as resistance quite a few times back there on Thursday. So if on Monday the price gets another surge upwards, that'll be the big question mark. Can the price not only get up to that level, but can the price break up through it, which, it's failed to do so far. But all in all, nice bounce off that 200-period moving average. Nice bounce here. So let's see if the momentum carries into next week. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC. Very, very nice bounce from these lows. And again, this will mean a little bit more to those that watched the previous video, but hopefully remember me talking about that level right there because check it out. Price came down here and beautiful, beautiful bounce. You just can't make that stuff up. And if you don't believe me, maybe this first video, I totally get it. I'm some random stranger. Just go back in the video archive and you can see that I had that line in there. And I don't say that to brag about myself. I do say it's a brag about charts, though, and technical analysis, because they really are a fantastic tool that I believe you should use. And here's a classic example of it. So for any of you that did watch that video and picked up some, down around this area, congratulations. You're having a very nice weekend as the price bounced very, very nicely. Now, in terms of levels of resistance, I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment, which is good because I'm going to adjust this area of resistance now up to that level at the $7 mark, which is always good from a bullish standpoint if levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upwards direction. And as you just saw me do there, I did indeed adjust it upwards. Again, that is a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level. I think it served its purpose for now because from more of the overarching standpoint from resistance angle, keep an eye on that pink line up there, 200 period moving average. But all in all, very nice bounce today. It's working its way, trying to work its way back upwards. And $7 will be that first key public enemy headed into Monday. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, ticker symbol GGE, and what an absolute train wreck. Yes, I mean, think of it. That is insane. Insane train wreck, but today we got a nice move upward. So you got to give credit where credit's due. Nice move in the upwards direction, but that does lead to the valid question. Is there any sort of genuine strength behind this price move? Is there any sort of genuine power? And I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. In my mind, it's all about that level right down there at 25 cents. And why is that level important? Well, hopefully we can all agree on the logic that price movements with genuine power, with true strength, are going to make progress forward. They're not going to go back to where they were. So case in point, if the price were to come down to 25 cents and break down through there, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back inside of this range where it just was. And again, price movements that go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. Whereas on the flip side, maybe the price comes down here, behaves like this, and then starts to head back upwards. Now, all of a sudden, what do you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have these lows down there. And if you envision each one of those lows as stair-steps, well, now you have stair-steps making progress in the upwards direction. And that's what a truly strong move is going to do. It's going to show signs of progress. No price can go straight up, but you got to at least see progress. And in this situation, quote unquote, progress being defined there at the 25 cent mark. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy here. Literally just a question of where did the momentum finally stop today. And that was right up there at the 46 cent mark. So keep an eye on 46 cents. But yeah, no doubt about it. Absolutely beat down yesterday, but got a nice bounce today. Can it show signs of progress next week? Let's see what happens. Next one, SOFI. Very, very impressive move today. Had a deeper pullback here, but ultimately, in fact, kind of just maybe a glorified bull flag there. Got the breakout and has now just been grinding higher and higher. And maybe I should have put this at a different location within the watch list because we have ourselves, again, another one of these bull pennant patterns. So at this point, I'm going to go quickly through it because you understand the whole dynamic here about self-fulfilling prophecies and all that good stuff. So there's our area of support. And then just to make it, because I can't help myself, so we have resistance, we have support, we have big upwards move here, golf flow down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So if you like stocks down below $10, you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one here, HCDI, and another one of these where we got some opportunity in the ugly. So same general idea as the other one we looked at. We have this gap close location, so former area of resistance. You can see right there, former area of resistance, and just based on that foundational rule, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support, and then you combine it. Now, the other one only had the 50-period moving average down by it, but this one's actually got a couple more. So if you do want to, I can see people saying, well, I'd rather move it down towards this area right here. I can see any of this range making sense. It just really is a matter of personal preference. But the general idea is the same. Assuming you're going to be disciplined, is it valid? Is it plausible that the price could come down here and get some sort of bounce back upwards? That is certainly a plausible scenario, but no guarantee. So if it does continue to just bleed and bleed and bleed, you better be willing to, honor those stop losses and manage that risk. But from a risk-reward scenario, these are these situations where you can definitely structure yourself a very potentially advantageous relationship. Next one here, nope, I lied. This is supposed to be M-A-R-A, not M-A-R. There we go. All right. So M-A-R-A, just to clarify right there. Very, very nice move. And this one's been just, I've done this one quite a bit. I mean, beautiful uptrend. So for those of you that have been following this one, I mean, very well done. I mean, you are, I'm sure, smiling ear to ear. And really not a whole lot I can talk about this one right now because as I speak, you can see the price has actually broken out. So you may be saying, well, Jesus, then what's the point? We already missed it. And that's true to an extent, but this breakout here now allows us to ask a very exciting question. That question being, is this the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. It makes no sense to ask that question if nothing worthwhile is even happening. But something worthwhile is happening. You already have a very strong move. Now this strong move is breaking out. So it makes total sense to question, hey, is this the start of something bigger? No, it may not be, but it still may be. So that's the point, and that's the whole idea of a watch list, right? To find those unique, find interesting situations and not rush out and randomly buy stuff, but to watch it. So if you like these sorts of scenarios, definitely keep an eye on it. But it's really as straightforward as that. Huge momentum today, breaking out during the final 30 minutes. So is this just a leading indicator of more momentum to come next week? We'll see what happens. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to go up, this one will also go up. Makes it a very popular ETF and never quite hit the pink line, which I know I talked about in other charts, but you can see right here, this general area right here, found some support around here this morning and has now made a very nice bounce and certainly has some momentum and a nice little pattern. In fact, you've seen this pattern a million times now, but I'll do it very quickly and crudely. So got ourselves another bull pennant pattern there. But what I'm very interested about, I'm going to leave that 45.60 mark up there, but I do want to add in another one because in the near term here, I think the level that really is going to get this thing potentially rocking and rolling again is right there at the 44.50 mark. When you look closely, you can see right there, price was rejected by it and then never hit it exactly right there today, but close enough to say that, I think this is an area that, you could potentially have a self-fulfilling prophecy behind it. Now, I'm not saying if that 44.50 is broken, it's shooting straight up there within 2 seconds, but I am saying if it can break up through there, I can see that leading to more continued momentum. But all things considered, good to see that the price was able to hold above the 200 period moving average. Good to see that it's now formed a nice little bull pennant pattern right below that area of resistance right there. So that'll be the big question mark moving forward. Can this bull pennant get the breakout? And if it breaks out, can it get up above 44.50? So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to go get signed up for that free live class that I'm offering next week. It'll be Thursday, December 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do 2 things for me. Hit the like button, leave a comment. Those really help out. They communicate to me on whether or not you enjoy these, even if it's just saying hi or giving me a watch list for next week or whatever you're trading, or if you have a question. But any sort of comment really does help out. So hitting the like button, leave a comment, and then go get signed up for that free class. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.